Hello dear students, so here I am back, Asha Didiji, faculty with Vidya Bharati Institutions, and today I am dealing with the question and answers of the chapter A Visit to Cambridge of the book Honeydew NCERT Class 8. So this is a very interesting chapter that how to look inner beauty rather than outward. So let's check out. Let's see the first question of comprehension check, page number 104. Which is the right sentence? Question number 1. Cambridge was my metaphor for England. To the writer. Number 1. Cambridge was a reputed university in England. Number 2. England was famous for Cambridge. Number 3. Cambridge was the real England. So students, the answer is number 3. Okay. Cambridge was the real England. It is depicting that real England. Okay. Question number 2. The writer phoned Stephen Hawking's house. Number 1. From the nearest phone booth. Number 2. From outside a phone booth. Number 3. From inside a phone booth. So the answer is from outside a phone booth. Number 2. So the writer phoned Stephen Hawking's house from outside a phone booth. Okay. Number 3. Every time he spoke to the scientist, the writer felt guilty because number 1. He was not sure what he wanted to ask. Number 2. He forced the scientist to use his voice synthesizer. Number 3. He was face to face with a legend. So students, here the answer is number 2. He forced the scientist to use his voice. Question number 4. I felt a huge relief in the possibility of my body. In the given context, the highlighted words refers to number 1. Shifting to the wheelchair, turning the wrist. Number 2. Second, standing up, walking. Number 3. Speaking, writing. So students, here the answer is number 1. Shifting the wheelchair, turning the wrist. Okay. Now we are in the text questions. So in page number 104, let's look question number 1. Did the prospect of meeting Stephen Hawking make the writer nervous? If so, why? So the answer is yes. The prospect of meeting Stephen Hawking made the writer nervous because Stephen Hawking was the ablest scientist on the earth at that time. So he was not sure that whether he would get opportunity to meet him or not. Okay students, you got the point? See, whenever we are going to meet someone who is very great and worthy, there comes some kind of nervousness, right? So the writer was feeling that same nervousness at that time. Okay. Question number 2 of 1. Did he at the same time feel very excited? If so, why? Answer is yes, he felt very excited at the same time because Stephen Hawking was totally paralyzed. Still, he had made great achievement. This gave him the strength to do still better in life. So yes students, in this context we also got to know that the writer was really excited, that he was also thrilled of seeing Stephen Hawking, that being disabled Stephen Hawking has done such a great achievement. Okay. Question number 2. Guess the first question put the scientist by the writer. Answer. The writer's first questions might be about Hawking's disability and how he had accepted it. So this is a general notion, right students, that whenever we are reaching to a people about that particular aspects, that how that person is doing the things without that thing, so the first question is related with that fact only, right? So here the writer was fascinated about the Stephen Hawking, that being disabled he is doing so much of great things. So his first questions, we can guess that he must be asked about that, sir, you are disabled and still you get so many things in your life. So how you have, which things that is inspired you, right students? Stephen Hawking said, I have had no choice. Does the writer think there was a choice? What was it? Answer: yes, the writer thinks there is a choice, and that is living creatively with the reality of his weakening body was a choice. So yes, students, here the writer think that yes, there is always a choice that Stephen Hawking was actually doing. That being disabled, he was just living his life so creatively by accepting his paralyzed body. Question number 4 asking, I could feel his anguish. What could be the anguish? Answer: the anguish was that he found it very difficult to express himself with the right words on his computer. He felt frustrated. He could not express himself freely, although ideas were floating in his mind. So here, students, you can relate with our condition that this is normal, right? That if somebody can do something, but due to some reason, if he is not able to do, and if he find difficulty in doing things, then he must be anxious or stressed and frustrated, right? So since Stephen Hawking was a brilliant scientist, lots of great ideas were floating in his mind, but he could not be able to express his freely. He has to take the help of computer, so that makes him a little bit of anguish and frustrated. Okay. Question number 5. What endeared the scientist to the writer so that he said he was looking at one of the most beautiful men in the world? Answer: the writer endeared the scientist so that he said he was looking at one of the most beautiful men in the world, as the author was not looking at the outward beauty, rather inner beauty. He said that Stephen Hawking was a strong and brave man with a good heart. Okay, students. So in this question, we can understand here that outer beauty never matters, right? Inner beauty is that thing which matters. So here also, the writer was impressed by scientists by seeing his inner beauty, that from inside he is so brave, creative, and with such a good heart, that being so busy, he gave time to Firdaus Kanga to meet and granted him for taking interview, right? He was so kind-hearted, and he was so brave that being disabled, he had achieved his achievements, and he did what he was believes in that. Okay, so that things matters, right? Inner beauty matters, not the outer words. So that the thing that writer was saying here. Okay. Question number 6. Read aloud the description of the beautiful man, which is the most beautiful sentence in the description. Answer: the line is, before you like a lantern whose walls are worn so thin, you glimpse only the light inside, is the incandescence of a man. So students, this is the description for the beautiful person, that is saying that when a lantern is lighting up, so the light inside the lantern is important, that is glowing the whole thing around the lantern. Okay. The first question of question number 7. If the lantern is the man, what would its walls be? Answer: the physical body is the walls of the lantern. Okay, students. So here the writer is comparing the physical body of a man with the outer walls of the lantern. Okay. Number 2. What is housed within the thin walls? Within the thin walls of the lantern is nothing but light, which has the power to enlighten you. Okay, students. So here you can also imagine the lantern, and within the lantern there is a light glowing up. So here writer is comparing it with our soul, that is our soul is brightening the whole world around. Okay. Third question of question number 7 asking, what general conclusion does the writer draw from this comparison? So the answer is, the writer draws a general conclusion from the comparison with a lantern. The body is only an accessory in this life. What matters is the eternal soul that shines if one never gives up and does what he or she believes in, just like Hawking. So here the writer is just he was used to compare our life with the lantern, that the lantern's wall is just like the physical body, and the light which is glowing inside the lantern, he compares it with our soul, and he's saying that if from inside we are strong and brave enough, then we can do whatever we are believing to doing that, like as Hawkins did. Okay, students. Question number 8 asking, what is the scientist's message for the disabled? Answer: the scientist's message for the disabled is that they should concentrate on what they are good at. It is foolish to try to copy the normal people. Okay, students. So this is also obvious for us also, that we should not compare with others and we should not copy others, that if that person can play guitar so very well, so I would also try and all. You just do what you are good at. Okay, students. And here that word disabled, always say disabled as differently abled. Okay. Question number 9. Why does the writer refer to the guitar incident? Which idea does it support? Answer: when Stephen Hawking said that the disabled people should concentrate on what they are good at, the writer related the guitar incident, that he had tried to learn a Spanish guitar which was larger than he himself. So which idea does it support? It supports Stephen's idea. Okay, students. So here in this questions, the writer is relating his one incident, that he was wanted to play a guitar, that the Spanish guitar one pop star was playing. So, but that guitar was greater than the writer Firdaus Kanga. So here he relate with Stephen's idea, that Stephen's idea was that we should not compare ourselves with others. Just do what you are good at. Okay, students. Question number 10. The writer expresses his great gratitude to Stephen Hawking. What is the gratitude for? Answer: the writer expressed his gratitude to Stephen Hawking because he had been an inspiration for him and for giving him strength and confidence to be brave and to live life creatively. Okay, students. So here the writer is showing a great gratitude towards Stephen Hawking, because he was so much inspired of Stephen Hawking, that being disabled, Stephen Hawking was living his life so creatively and had achieved so many things. And he also inspired the writer to live life like a brave person and creatively, and do not compare yourself with the other ones. Okay. So students, we have covered actually all the question and answers of the chapter A Visit to Cambridge. So everyone write in your notebook with correct spellings and learn it. In case of any doubts and questions, drop it in the comment box. Okay. All the very best for your studies. Take care.